Okay, tonight we are going to talk about the sacred and sinister side of empathy. So let's jump right into it. Here we go. First of all, for me, the empathy strength appears in the number 26 position in my divine natural abilities, which means it's really not on my radar for who I am. And for my wife, Kim, it's her number 20. So neither of us have this strength very high. But this is a powerful strength, and I'm excited to share it with you tonight. So let's cover the basics. What domain does empathy fall under? Well, if you've been watching a lot of the videos, you can probably figure this one out pretty easily. This is definitely a relationship building strength. And what is so cool about empathy is it's actually a very powerful strength, and I think a lot of times people don't recognize just how powerful this is. But if you have high empathy, you have a gift, and I want to make sure you understand what your gift is. If you do not have high empathy, if you're more like me and Kim, then I hope you know some people with high empathy, because they're going to be able to help you out quite a bit as you're working with others. So let's just put that out there. Let's dive right into this. So, people with high empathy have this ability to feel and experience things through someone else's eyes or someone else's position, and that's very powerful. Now, as where a lot of us, I think it's human nature that most of us, one time or another, we will project our feelings onto someone else in a situation. And let me give you an example of that. We would, like, say, for example, we're at work and there's an announcement. And so we say, well, gosh, this announcement, this change that's happening is something that I'm not comfortable with. And so we're going to assume that because I'm not comfortable with it, I'm going to assume that because I'm not comfortable with it, and I'm a rational, reasonable human being, then obviously my coworkers are not going to be very happy with this either. They're going to be just as frustrated as I am. And for the exact same reasons, because I'm a rational human being, and this is who, and anybody that's rational would feel this. Anyone that's rational would feel this way. So a lot of times when we do that, we're way off because we don't understand that people think differently than we do. People react differently. People have different strengths than we do. So there's a lot of variables in there. Now, with the high empathy people, though, they tend to be more accurate about understanding what somebody else's mindset is going to be, or how they're going to react to something, or how they see something, or how they feel about something. That's where the high empathy people really shine. They're able to really kind of tune into that very well, and they tune into it so well. Now, not perfectly. It's not like they're 100%. It's not like they're fortune tellers or mind readers, or they have ESP or anything. But it's still a very solid gift that they have. And because they're able to see people's reactions and understand them and see through their eyes and their perspective, they're able to oftentimes then later predict how those people are going to react, because they're going to see the patterns. They're going to see over time, well, I know that is how this person is most likely going to take this news, or how they're going to struggle with this change or accept this change, or whatever it may be. They're going to be very in tune with that. And most of the time, they're going to be right. Quite frankly, the people with high empathy are going to be right. They're able to really see people through, or see people's reactions through that other person's eyes. They're able to see their thoughts, their feelings, all that. They're really feeling what the other person feels. And so when you have a person with high empathy that's in a group, and they're understanding how these other 6 or 8 or 10 people are each individually reacting to things. The other people in the group without high empathy probably are not able to see what they can see. They're not tuned into that. They may be caught up in their own issues, or they may just be kind of not picking up on the same cues. They just don't have that ability. That's a lot of what the empathy strength is. So because of that, because people with high empathy are so good at tuning into what another person is experiencing, they're able to put people at ease very well. They're able to see if a person might be a little bit unsure, or maybe a little bit agitated, or maybe a little bit concerned, or, put in whatever emotion you can think of in there. They're able to see that, and because of that, they can react in a way that can support that person very well, kind of through that. Okay, they're able to support that person to help make them feel a little bit more reassured, a little bit more positive, kind of help promote a shift there. So that is very powerful. Again, you see why empathy is such a great relationship building strength. If you are a relationship builder with high empathy, then you're going to use that empathy strength to deepen your relationships. You're going to use them to support people through whatever it is they might be going through or what they might be experiencing. So, how can this go sinister? How can this wonderful strength, this wonderful empathy, powerful empathy strength, how can it go sinister? Part of the problem that we can run into if you have high empathy, one of the problems you might run into is that you lose your sense of self. You start seeing things so much through another person's eyes that you become inauthentic of who you are. And we have to be very careful of that because, again, as a relationship builder, this is a relationship building strength. In order to use this properly, you have to keep track and keep out there who you are. You can't lose sight of that. We can't build relationships if we're not authentic in who we are first and foremost. So you will not be able to build a relationship if all you're doing is seeing the world through somebody else's eyes and you lose track of who you are. This next thing that can happen is I call it joining someone in the quicksand. So imagine, a person falls in quicksand or something and you want to help them, but instead of helping them, you jump in with them. And then we got two people sinking in quicksand. We have to be careful of that. It's important that if a person is going through a difficult time, that the person with high empathy does not absorb that and engage in that. We just want to be aware. We want to have awareness of it. And that is a very critical difference. So if you want to support somebody and use your empathy strength and develop that relationship, you're going to use phrases like, wow, I see that, or I'm sensing that you're struggling with this, or you're having a rough time with this. I just want you to know that I see that and I'm aware of it. And I'm here for you if there's something I can help with. Okay, but you don't want to jump in the quicksand with them. Okay, you don't want to jump in and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened to you. That is terrible. That is wrong. That should have never happened. I am so sorry. You don't want to go overboard into that and get to where you're no longer, now you're participating in there. You're no longer just being aware. You're not using your empathy strength. Now you become an active participant. And once you've done that, your empathy strength has literally gone out the window. It is gone. You've abandoned it at that point. So that's what we have to be careful of. Don't jump in the quicksand. Okay? If someone is, standing there and a bus is coming towards them and they're not moving out of the way, you're not going to stand there with them. You're going to want to get clear. Don't be in the danger zone. You're going to try and say, hey, come on out of there. Try and pull them out of there. But you're not going to join them in that. It's going to be catastrophic for both of you. So That is what you need to be careful of. Be aware. Be aware. That is the most important thing, but do not engage in what someone else is going through. You can just acknowledge it. And that is the key difference. If you are able to adopt that boundary, your empathy strength, you're going to be very successful in using that strength. It's going to work very well for you, and it's going to be very powerful, and you're going to be a great asset to all of the people you work with and all the people that are in your life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, as always, remember, inspiration starts here.